Welcome to DRF Harness. This is Matt Rose flying solo in the DRF studios today, joined via remote with Derick Giwner, who is currently out of the office, and a lot of us here are thankful for that. But very nice of him to call in today and give us some insight on the big stakes, a couple of the big stakes events at Woodbine Mohawk Park this Saturday night, September 1st. Big stakes card. We're going to speak specifically about the Canadian Pacing Derby for 3-year-olds and up pacers, and the Maple Leaf Trot Final for 3-year-old and up trotters. So without further ado, I'll send it off to Derick Giwner, and let's get the ball rolling.
I know you're glad for modern technology, so you get to get a little bit of a look at me. It's a great card at Mohawk Park on Saturday night. Plenty of great stakes action. Of course, the two biggies with the Maple Leaf and the Canadian Pacing Derby. And the Canadian Pacing Derby, we get to see Lazarus again, coming off that great mile in the Dan Patch. You know, one start here, one win, and now he's the second coming, no doubt, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, all eyes were on him in the Dan Patch. Made it, I'm sure, one of the highest handled Dan Patches and the most eyes on that race. And he did what he had to do. He delivered the goods in 148 and 4, home in 26 after getting the front rather easily in rating. And now he has we see his second start in the U.S., going for 600,000 Canadian up in this race at Woodbine Mohawk Park. He's a morning line favorite, I guess deservedly so, and all eyes will be on him again. I did not go with him on top. My selection is really not a surprise, but let me see who you went with first.
I think this is an interesting race because there's a ton of speed in this race. If you look, Rock and Ron can certainly lead, Filibuster Hanover, Nirvana Sealster. There's a bunch in here. Even Dr. J. Hanover, who's I guess the Canadian record holder with 46 and 4, can also leave. So there's a ton of speed in here. I think this race shapes up a lot differently than the Dan Patch did. I don't see Yannick Gingras leaving hard here with Lazarus. I see him taking back a little bit off the gate, waiting for the dust to settle, and then coming. And I think you're going to have McWicked right on his back. I think it's a great spot for McWicked. He's really good over this track. I think he's 3 for 4 this year. I think he also had 3 wins the previous year. I think it's a great spot for him. And I think you're going to get a better price. You might get 5-2 on McWicked on his home track, you know, where he came home in 25 a few starts back.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you in terms of Yannick Gingras' tactics in this race. In the Hoosier race, he had the 9 posts. He really had the far outside. He really had no choice but to put the horse in play early and get to the lead and cut the mile, or else he'd be too far back. And I agree with the early speed signed on here, especially, like you said, Rock and Ron, Filibuster Hanover, and Dr. J. Hanover could be blasting, that the tactics will be different. And that's why I'm on board with McWicked as well. We see Dave Miller pick up the drive. He's no stranger, being the sulky behind this horse. He's on his home turf. I just think the race shapes up perfectly for him, and I agree. I think he's going to be following Lazarus, and he could have the strongest kick coming home. We saw in the Dan Patch, kind of got a little lost mid-pack through that rated pace. Once he was clearing the stretch, he was flying home in 25 and 2. And I'm gonna let Lazarus prove me wrong, but I'm gonna take another stab with McWicked here, and like you said, probably maybe getting 5-2 over versus 3-5 or 2-5 on Lazarus.
And there's no doubt, I respect Lazarus. I think he could definitely win the race, and he should be the favorite probably off of what he's done in that one race. He certainly looked good enough. But I just think the price you're going to get at McWicked is probably going to be too good to pass up. I think an interesting long shot could be number 6, All Bets Off. If the race plays out,
I knew you were going to say that, by the way.
But if you look at the race the way it's supposed to play out with all the speed that's signed on here, All Bets Off could be sitting a nice trip, second, third, fourth over, whatever, behind this nice out of flow with Lazarus and McWicked, and could get into the number at what could be 15, 20 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've both been following All Bets Off for a while. He seems to have excuse after excuse after excuse. He will be a big price, no doubt about it. I do see him coming from off the pace, like you said. And listen, I didn't cross him off, let's put it that way. But I had a sneaky suspicion you're going to mention All Bets Off here. Still waiting for him to break through this season. Who knows? You know what? He'll probably step up when we least expect it. So, yeah, I wouldn't toss him off on any tickets.
Well, I agree with you there, and we're going to go with my selection of McWicked, and I guess you're going with McWicked, and I guess we're going to go on to the Maple Leaf, right?
Let's go. Maple Leaf is race 10 on the big Woodbine Mohawk Park card. 651,000 Canadian for the age trotters. See a couple mares in here as well. Everybody's familiar with the names here. Ariana G, the great filly, a great mare. Hannelore Hanover, great mare. Mary Marauder has done nothing wrong. It's a pretty intriguing race, and there's certainly no standouts. And I guess whoever you go with, whoever you side with, you will be rewarded with at least a halfway decent price. So who'd you go with?
There's no doubt about it. You'll get a decent price on just about anyone in here. It's a really stacked field where, you know, 6 horses could probably legitimately win this on paper. I think obviously the horse to beat is probably Marion Marauder in here, and I think we have some video from Marion Marauder. So why don't we take a look at his elimination win last week? You know, where he was sitting off. You know, he just had a perfect trip off cover. The fractions were slow.
He got away mid-pack. He was not rushed at all from the rail spot, which not necessarily is the best place to start. A well-rated half. He picked up cover here, live cover, towed him right into the race. And you could just see him. Yeah, he's asked for speed. And he just kicks off completely, draws away completely in hand.
Dancer Hall the 5, charging home from the back as well.
Again, I think Marion Marauder was pretty much shut down, and he was completely on his own. Dancer Hall, once he kicked into gear and got going, he flew home. Draws a good post here with the 2 posts. I'm afraid he might be. Will he be a little undervalued because people saw that closing effort? I think maybe. But Marion Marauder, he has tactical speed when he needs it. We saw that in the Cashman at the Meadowlands. We've seen it on occasion at other tracks. He can take from off. He can do it any way he wants, and I think Zeron can work out whatever trip works best for him, whether it's on the lead, off the lead, cover trip, grinding uncovered. And you know what? I just think he's the horse to beat here, and he is the slight morning line favorite, deservedly so, coming off that winning elimination. You know what? I've liked this horse all along. I'm gonna stick with him again here. I think Zeron works out the winning trip in a race where we have some question marks. Ariana G bounced back. We see her win at 10-1 last week. I don't know how you got that price, but the key to the race is Hannelore Hanover, who's just really no excuse. Well, you could say no excuse in her last 2 races. Last week was just all alone on the front end. It gave way and pretty much had little off her late. Who knows if she bounces back? But I guess if you want to come back with her, you're going to get a better price than you've probably ever seen on her. But I can't use her on top after what I've seen in her last 2 starts.
Similar to Lazarus, but perhaps for different reasons here. Don't you see Yannick, you know, changing his tactics here and trying from off the pace? You know, he's put her on the lead basically every single start. She's clearly tiring in the stretch lately. I think she needs something different here. And I think that Yannick will try these different tactics in this race. I'm still not picking her. I mean, her form has just been too off. I would need at least 5-1 to take a shot on Hannelore, and she just never offers that kind of price. People always think she's going to bounce right back, and perhaps she will. I went the way of number 5, Will Take Charge. This guy's basically there every single week, puts in a solid effort. We've seen it time and time again. Just missed last week in the elimination. I'm not going to hold that against him here. I mean, that's a $40,000 race. This is a $600,000 race. I'm sure that trainer Jeff Gillis will have this guy ready to roll. And this looks like a good spot where he can follow, you know, one of the horses to his inside. They're all good horses. He can follow any of them. Or, you know, from time to time, he has shown speed. Maybe this is a week he wants to pull that card out of the deck.
Yeah, he's another one that's just a true professional trotter. 404 grand in the bank, 17 starts this year. Like Marion Marauder, can do it on the pace, off the pace, whatever he needs to do. Just missing that elimination when he's run over late by Ariana G. Can't fault him for that. We saw him race well in the Crawford, race well in the. He's done nothing wrong. He's certainly on my tickets. The only thing I'm afraid of is I don't know if has he ever won like the big one, and I consider this a big one. I mean, I would. You're going to get an okay price on him, but I have my reservations using him strictly on top. I'm going to stick with Marion Marauder. I'm going to definitely use him in the second slot. I'm going to use Ariana G. I'm leaning against using Dancer Hall. I suppose I could throw in Hannelore Hanover, but I'm sticking with the pro here, Marion Marauder.
Well, I'll go a slightly different way. Like I said, I'm going to Will Take Charge, but you know, with the other horses, I'll definitely use Ariana G underneath. You know, I probably won't use Marion Marauder, only for the fact that I think he's going to be the favorite. I think this is a reasonably wide open field. I'd rather toss him out. I'm going to toss Hanover off my tickets as well. And you know what? If one of those two win, they win. But I think there are other horses here that are going to be better prices that could win the race.
Okay, so you're going Will Take Charge on top with prices underneath. I assume Dancer Hall. Crazy Wow we didn't mention. when he's good, but he's another one I think you got to use underneath. And yeah,
just a second start here for the Melander barn, so first start wasn't bad, could certainly improve.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that was a good grinding effort last week, and certainly you could see tired of the stretch, but you can't take anything away from that. Is there any other speed on the outside here? Pinkman cut the mile in his elimination. I don't see that happening from post 10 after tiring with really little excuse.
And Motorcon Hanover obviously has some speed. She's done some really nice things, but I don't think she's the same horse this year. I'm not really scared of her at all.
Okay, so you know what? I don't want to chalk it up here, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be a very short price, but I'll be with Mary Marauder on top. You're with Will Take Charge on top. Anything else to add in closing?
I got nothing else. It's a great card. You know, you want to check it all out on DRF Harness Live. Garnett Barnsdale will be doing real-time analysis all night. We have all the live video. It should be a really great night, and I'm sure you'll want to tune in.
All right. Well, that's Saturday night, September 1st, a big stakes card at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Wish you all the best of luck.